So good evening to all and welcome to this session by the All India Educators Forum. And we have chosen the topic for you today is how to be a pro teacher. That's the need of the hour. You cannot be an ordinary teacher anymore. You need to go beyond. You have to become an awesome teacher. You need to amaze your students. And for this, we have 7 amazing teachers today who are going to share some tricks and techniques with the help of their experience. They're going to share some of their experiences, what worked with them. And we are very, very happy that the 7 teachers, they could take their time out for this session for you and for us. So we have Dr. Sanghamitra Dash, PGT Political Science, Adarsh World School, Dwarka. We have Richa Soni, who's TGT English from Don Bosco School, Alaknanda. Parvani Dawar ma'am, headmistress of Shishu Kunj Preschool, Indore. Sita Iyer ma'am, who will be joining us shortly, ex-Max teacher from Carmel Convent. Molly Abraham ma'am, who's a PGT Social Science, Radhika Educare, Jamnagar. And we have Uma ma'am, who's PGT Science, Sri Bala Vidyalaya, Kovai. And also she was nominated for the Shatakshi Women's Award in January 2021. And of course, we have Meenu ma'am, Hindi teacher and also a resource teacher from APS Kaluchak. So once again, warm welcome to all our panelists who could spare their valuable time for this. So I'm going to start our session for today by asking Sanghamitra Dash ma'am to start the session, and she will enlighten us on what she thinks is the requirement to become a pro teacher, to become an awesome teacher in today's times. So it's over to you, Sanghamitra ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to AIF for providing me this opportunity to express my viewpoints on this interesting topic. And the topic of today's discussion is pro educator. This topic is a combination of two terms, that is pro and educator. Pro is a professional or an expert in a field, or we can say is a person who does the work better than anyone else. Educator is a person who enriches the minds of the learner to face the world in a better way. The educator should have the extraordinary quality to explain the difficult terms in a simple way. And this education is a process that enriches the minds of the learner. The real education is that leaves a positive impact on the mind of the learner. Or I can say, whatever remains in the minds of the learner, even when we are not in the process of learning. We are away from the school. We are not in the school. We are not in the college. But still, whatever remains in the minds of the learner is called education. That is the real education. And this education is a noble profession that creates all other profession. Next is, today, I will discuss the important qualities that makes an educator a pro educator. There are certain qualities. Today, I will discuss few of these qualities. The first quality that I feel must be there in any educator is that a good communication skill. This communication is an art, and the medium that is used here is the mind and the soul of the learner. So a good educator, through the depth of his knowledge, through the gesture, body gesture, through the presentation skill, through the modulation of the tones, whatever they use, and they instantly attracts the attention of the learner. And this is the first thing. The attention of the learner is the first thing in any education process. The education will start unless and until the learners are interested to know, to learn. We cannot start this process. And another quality that I'm going to tell is a good education or good educator must be a good listener. He should have, or he or she must have the patience to attend each and every learner in the class. There may be 10, 20, 30 or more than that. Maybe the number is, but still a good educator has the patience to listen or to hear each and every student of the class with a with patience. And this is very much required because unless and until we know our learner, we know their individual requirement, this process cannot be effective. Because we all know that each student is unique. They have their own individuality, they have their own requirement. If we will try to use the same formula for all the students, the teaching may not be effective. The method may suit to at least 90 or 95% of the students. They may be comfortable with the method that we will be using in the classroom, but there may be few students who will not be very comfortable in this method. So we have to customize, we have to experiment with the method of teaching in such a way that it will become effective for each and every students in the class. Another great quality I think each and every educator must have is that they should have a connection. There should be a bonding of the educator with the learner. And this is especially important when we are teaching young students. The small or the young students, they are least interested to know how much education the teacher is having, how much knowledge the teacher is having, or how much qualification the teacher is having. But they will instantly connect with the educator if they will feel that the educator or the teacher cares for them. So we have to create this bonding with the learner. There should be a connection between the teacher and the learner. Unless and until this has been built, our education, that is an interactive process, it cannot be complete. A good educator, like a good leader, must have the capability to motivate the students. He should have the capability or skill to create interest, curiosity in the mind of the student to learn the subject. Unless and until the students are prepared to learn the subject, our education will not be effective. Sometimes because I teach political science, social science, sometimes some students who have already decided that they will take science and they will take commerce after 10th, sometimes they think, okay, why should we study social science? Because we are not going to take humanities. So as a teacher, this is a challenge for as a teacher, this is a challenge as well as this is also a skill. We have to convince the students that this knowledge of, because I'm talking about my subject, this knowledge of social science will make them understand the society in a better way. They can play the role in the society. They can understand whatever the problems they are facing in the society. What is the root cause of the problem? Unless and until they have studied history. Suppose I'm talking about the caste system. We all know that this system is an evil, social evil. But in order to understand how this social evil came to our society, we must understand history. We have to study the Varna system. For that, we have to. So this is a basic knowledge. And to understand, to play our role as a global citizen, the modern world is a globalized world. Unless and until we know, we have understood geography, we have knowledge of economics, we cannot play a role as a global citizen. Unless and until, even though a student may become engineer in future, may become doctor, may take up any profession, but unless and until he has knowledge of civics or political science, he will not play a role, his role as a vigilant citizen, which is the basic requirement of democracy. That is why we have to convince the student why the content or why the subject they are learning, how it will be effective, how it will help them in future. And once this interest will be created, they will start learning. Another thing, another good quality is sometimes we think a teacher should always be a perfect teacher who always gives perfect answers to each and every question put by the students. But this is not the quality that is always required. As a teacher, we have to make the student create or to solve the problem themselves also. We should not always give them instant answer. We should help them to think about the problem, to find their own solution, to make some effort. And this is a skill of a great educator. Next is We have to create confidence in the minds of the learner. There are some learner, they think they are making mistake. They are not going to, they are not fit for the subject. We have to convince them that making mistake is a part of learning. And if we are making mistake, this means we are making effort. As the number of efforts will increase, the mistakes will decrease. This is called trial and error method of learning. So making mistake is not a big deal. You have to keep on. You have to make effort. So mistake is should not be we should not be demotivated whenever we are making effort. Next, one very good quality every educator must have. They should always be prepared to keep their knowledge up to date. They should be co-learner. The great educators, they always consider them as co-learner. They should not be very rigid. They should not have this much ego that I have all the qualifications. I have this much experience. We need not have any more knowledge. Wisdom is not required. No, this is wrong. This knowledge that we are giving to our student is ever expanding. We have to keep ourselves up to date. Unless and until we know the latest happenings, we cannot enlighten our learners. That is why the teachers, they should every day, they should learn something by teaching the students. Sometimes we learn from the process of learning. We also make mistakes and we try to learn. And these mistakes are our greatest teachers. We learn from our mistakes. And this is what that is required. This confidence should be there. We have to build this, we have to instill this confidence in the minds of the learner. So basically, what I want to say that a good educator is like a friend, a philosopher, and a guide. And once he prepares the student to face the world with an open mind, to face the challenge, to solve the problem themselves, the role of teacher is like he has to step aside. He has to encourage the student to move forward. And while the student is, or while the learner is moving, the teacher should always be there for them. Whenever they need the teacher, we should always be there for them. This is what is required. And these are the few points that I think should be there in every good educator, great educators. With this, I know there is a limitation of times. There are so many speakers. So today, I would once again thank AIEF for giving me this opportunity to express my viewpoints. And I will thank the listeners for giving me this time. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sanghavitra ma'am. That was indeed wonderful. Very good points. Be a facilitator, be a mentor to the students, accompany them. That is very important. We cannot just assign them work and just step aside and say that, we are no longer on a pedestal. In many,
Yes,
in the olden times, we were kept on a pedestal, that Gurukul system, and the kids used to sit on a mat. Now it's level, we have to sit with the kids and make them learn.
Yes.
So it's a very beautiful sharing that you did to one of the
Thank
ways
you,
in which we can connect to the kids is to be one among them. So that's thank you, ma'am, for sharing those. And now I will invite Richa Soni, ma'am, to express her views on how to become an awesome teacher, how to become a pro teacher. Richa, ma'am. Ma'am, we can't hear you. Richa, ma'am. Ma'am, try using the headphones, please. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead. There seems to be a little bit technical issue. So, ma'am, we'll come back to you. Don't worry. So, we are just going to come back with Richa, ma'am. In the meantime, I'll request Parvani Dawar, ma'am, who is the headmistress, Shishu Kunj Preschool Indore, to give our viewers some tips on how to be a pro teacher. Parvani, ma'am, it's over to you.
Namaste. Thank you, Matthew sir, for this wonderful opportunity, and to AIEF for giving us this platform where I can put forth my views. I also feel humbled to be a part of the panel, and I extend warm greetings to my co-panelists. A big shout out to each and every teacher, educator who is watching this session right now. The very fact that you worry about being a good teacher means that you already are one, you know. So you must pat yourselves, give a pat on your shoulder, and applaud because you have risen to the occasion during the pandemic. So it is a wonderful indicator as to how teachers adapt to the situation they are put in, and they embrace it with love and kindness. I will begin my sharing on the topic with a story from my life. As a child, when I was in class 6, that was the first time I was introduced to the subject geography. And I didn't understand much of it, I didn't follow it too much. And I was an average scorer in my class. In one of the unit tests, you know, out of 20, I scored a 7. So that 7 was like it's a red mark on the paper. And though I was an average student, I had never flunked and I had never failed. So that red spot kind of hit me hard in my heart and in my mind. And although my teachers, my parents were very supportive, they said, never mind, we'll try to figure out what to do. I was still disturbed and I didn't very clearly express it at that time. There was a neighbor, we had a neighbor who I used to go to for studies and things like that. And that evening when I went to her, I just started crying. I just held her close and I started crying. And she didn't say anything to me. She just said that, have you heard of a person called Calorie Tachus? And I said, no, I don't know any Calorie Tachus. So she continued that he was at that time a Hungarian shooter in the army, in the Hungary army, and he was a perfect shooter. His aim in life was to win the Olympics, the gold medal in the Olympics. Unfortunately, during a drill in the army, he lost his right hand because a grenade it bursted in his hand, and he lost his right arm. Now that was the arm he was using to shoot. So it was a blow to him. He was hurt, he was disappointed, and he felt that he's moving away from his dream. He will never achieve the medal. At that time, he was dawned with the thought that I was the one who trained my right hand to shoot. If I can do that to my right hand, I can even train my left hand to shoot. And that's what he did. He trained his left hand to shoot and he won the Olympics gold medal. This is a true story. She told me that story, and that's all. She just stopped and we started doing our other work, you know, generally playing around. But that story left an impact in my heart. And I felt that this is not the end of the world. I can do more things. I could probably prepare better, try to figure out this geography and understand what it is. And that's what I did. By the end of my half yearlies and all, I managed a decent score and I was fine with it. Now, incidentally, I don't remember much of geography, okay? But I do remember the story, and I remember the impact that story had made by that person. She was not a teacher to me at that time, but that impact she made in my life, which is long lasting until date, I remember the importance of that impact. So, dear friends, this is what we, the teachers, that's what we do. We trigger emotions, we impact students in multiple layers. All right, now before we venture to understand what is a pro teacher, I think it is important that we address the fact, we discuss the traits of the current generation of learners, you know, the students we deal with. we call them the millennials, the Gen X, the current generation of learners, I think mainly these children have certain specific traits. One of them is that they have supersonic brains, and technology is something they can't do away with. It is the way of life for them. Secondly, they process information really fast. They have information at the click of a button, and that is why they have very low attention span. Thirdly, they want to be a part of the process of learning. They refuse to be passive learners. They want to be involved all the time. They're looking for engagement, interaction. So, when this is the set of traits our learners possess, we as teachers, as educators, we have to now develop and upskill ourselves, gain a better understanding on the areas which will facilitate learning for these children. So, as per my belief, I have clubbed it into one acronym, and I call that acronym CLAPS. Okay, CLAPS, CLAPS. I'll tell you what it, I'll elaborate on it. The C stands for cognitive activation. So we as teachers, educators, we need to trigger the cognitive aspect of our children. What is cognition? We all understand. That is the ability to think, to explore, to be able to connect the information we already have. We need to ensure that our children focus on methods, on techniques, on processes, rather than just be on the receiving end. So that is the C, cognitive activation. The L stands for learning to be personalized. Children come from various cultures. There's a diversity in our classrooms. The competence, the capacity, the capabilities, they vary. So we as educators should be able to plan the customized learning for these children. I know it is easier said than done, but if it is done in a systematic and a methodical way, it is possible. So we need to make the learning personalized for our students. The A again stands for active learning. We have to engage children constantly into discussions, analysis, overviews, develop high order thinking skills in our children, give them opportunities to present their thoughts, disagree if required, come to a consensus. This kind of active learning has to happen in the classrooms. The P stands for project-based learning. So we need to integrate project-based learning. Some of you may say it's experiential learning. So yes, we need to integrate that in our curriculum, in our syllabus. We need to have that taking place in the classrooms where children work on the real life solutions. They're making connections with the real world. They're more application-based modules in our classrooms. The last S stands for soft skills. Now, every word we say, every glance, every gesture, our body language, the vibes, the way we talk to other teachers, the way we talk to the Didi Bhaiyas in the classroom, the way we talk to our principal, our co-teachers, their parents, everything is being observed by the children. So that particular soft skill is something we need to work on. We have to understand the importance of collaboration with the children. So these are the soft skills we need to focus on. Always remember that the teacher, another distinct feature which I feel other than the claps, is that an average teacher or a normal teacher has two loves in her life. Okay, the first love is the love for learning, and the second love is the love for the learners. That is an average teacher. The pro teacher brings in another love in the life, okay? And that third love is that she clubs the first two loves, the love for learning and the love for learners. So that is a one step forward, and that makes her the pro teacher. It's as simple as it sounds and yet as complicated. Just talk to the children, and when they talk, listen to them, pay attention, be warm, be kind, allow them to be themselves, respect them, and apologize if required, make jokes with them, laugh at their jokes. These are something which will connect, which will help us to connect with the children, and only then the learning is going to take place, because as I understand and as I have experienced, children do not learn from people they don't like. So you have to have the first connect the bond with our children. Uh, Before I close my talk, I would like to narrate another incident. So there's a class where a teacher, she gave them a quiz of 20 marks. And out of the 20, one student got only 2 right. So on the paper in the quiz, she put a +2 and she put a smiley. So the child, when he looks at the paper and he says, "Ma'am, does this mean I have flunked?" So she said, "Yes, you have flunked." So he's like, "Then why the smiley?" She says that the smiley is because you got 2 correct. That means you can do better. And the child said, "Yes, ma'am. The -18 would have drained the energy out of me. But the +2 says I can do better and I'm not all that bad." So that is the kind of impact. Simple things like these, which make us connect with our children, impact their lives forever. Please believe that we play a very, very, very important role in shaping the future of the world. Why? Because we work with the biggest resource of the world. We work with the children, and we are capable of impacting their lives forever. I would close my conversation by saying that more power to each one of us. We have to understand that we are totally empowered, and as we reflect, we refresh, we rethink, we redesign, and we do all this together. Why? Because we all are striving to be pro teachers. Thank you very much for listening. Namaste.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Really awesome sharing. Very, very awesome. And the kind of presentation you brought in so many things. And especially I like the part when you brought in the soft skills, which is so neglected in today's times. Everybody is, concentrating on the bookish knowledge, becoming engineers, becoming doctors, taking their professional degrees. But what happens to people skills? So I'm glad that you brought out this point, and I'm so happy that you could take out time for this session. Thank you once again. So, Richa ma'am, just check your mic if it's okay.
Yeah. So, am I
Yes, ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. See, technology, sometimes we don't have any power over it.
Yes,
I'm
true.
really sorry for the inconvenience. Thank you, Matthew, sir. And a very good evening to all the co-panelists and to all the listeners. We as teachers, or let's say as educators, we are in a wonderful profession. And because we nurture and we create all kinds of professionals. So to create amazing and awesome professionals, we need to be pro teachers. And today I would like to share with all of you a few tips on how to be a pro teacher. And my ideas and my views are purely based on my 13 years of experience in the teaching career. The first and the foremost step in the ladder of being a pro teacher is to know your subject. A student is always looks upon the teacher. He always admires his teacher for her knowledge. So to be a pro teacher, it is of utmost importance that we have a good command over our subject. We need to go well planned and well versed with the content we are going to teach our students. I joined the teaching career at the age of 23. And I can say this with experience that I was able to build a rapport with my students because I had a good command over my subject. And as a language teacher, I realized that my oratory skills, my pronunciation, my vocabulary needs to be very appropriate because my students imitate it. They absolutely and completely imitate my oratory skills.
I think that technical problem is still there. Richa ma'am, we'll come back to you. Sorry, listeners. See, as ma'am said, technical problems can be there, but we are not able to do that. So we'll come back to you, Richa ma'am. Don't worry about anything. We'll come back. So may I request in the meantime, Sita Iyer, who is an ex-maths teacher from Carmel Convent, she'll be having lots and lots of ideas, I'm sure. So we are eager to listen to you, ma'am, please.
Can you hear?
Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening to everyone. And a very big thank you to Matthew, sir. He has been like a total support system, pushing all of us, motivating us. That is the most beautiful thing. So here we are. And thank you, sir, for that. I would like to thank Sister Nirmalini. She was the principal of Carmel Convent School for many years. Presently, she is the Superior General of the Apostolic Carmel Congregation. She is one inspiration because of her humane approach to one and all. So I really thank her, and I thank all the teachers, parents, students who have enriched my journey as a teacher. And I thank Sangamitra ma'am, Parvani ma'am, and Richa ma'ams we are just hearing for their wonderful input. Today's topic is how to be a pro teacher. So I was just thinking, what is a teacher? Then I just reflected in Sanskrit, the term for teacher is guru. Guru means guru removes darkness. Okay. Now, to do that, the guru has to be a multifaceted personality and able to motivate the students to become a holistic person. Then only the darkness will get dispelled. Now, here I am taking 4 facets of a guru or teacher. The first one is to impart theoretical knowledge. Second is to inculcate values. Third is to be a friend, mentor, counselor. Fourth one is to give them experiential knowledge. So here the first one, very beautifully Parvani ma'am and Sangamitra ma'am, they have brought it, and also a little bit from Richa ma'am, that the content and the knowledge of the subject has to be thorough for the teacher to give them impart theoretical knowledge. So, and also they have to go on upgrading, learn new things themselves so that they can be a part of the learning with the students. The second one, inculcating values, has to be done in a very sensitive way. Here, what we have to be very careful when we are trying to talk to children about values. Talking to them about values is not going to help. We have to do it in a very subtle way. For this, we as teachers, we have to be very sure, like supposing we want them to show honesty or, punctuality, we have to show it in action. So here we can do something called as, like, doing anything else, it has to be structured. So this also, it has to be a structured attempt to change ourselves. So what we can do is, every day, it may appear to be a tall claim, but it's a fact. Every day, if we keep 1 hour, and we'll call it me time. And me time means when you sit, no school, no student, not even family. It'll be just me and myself. Okay. Now, the main objective of the meantime is going to be to slow down our thought process. How we can do is, there are so many things. It depends on what you like to do. You can take a walk, but mindful, or you can do meditation, or you can do gardening, or you can listen to music, or if you're a creative person, do art or music or dance, anything. In that time period, you just learn to be with yourself. That is, the thought process has to be checked. Now, when you are doing this, you will find that initially it will be not a very easy process, doesn't matter. So we'll do a small thing. We all have to-do list. In the to-do list is never ending. It has got so many things. Now we will make what is called as to-be list. To-be list, surprisingly, unlike to-do list, will have only one. That supposing you write humor or smile or happy, okay, for that day in your me time, you would have written only one word. But there is a homework here. What you have to do is you have to remember the whole day. You have to tell yourself, check. Keep doing work because all of us have a lot of work to do, but just check. Am I doing my homework properly? Am I smiling or am I grumpy? Check and change it. So, just by doing this process, you are understanding yourself, which is very important if we are going to affect anything in others and students, all the more. Now, when we are doing the self-improvement process, there is a problem. Sometimes we also get doubts and we ask ourselves, things are not happening the way I want, but don't matter. Just doesn't matter. You just tell yourself, I'm work in progress. So you move on. Here I would like to share an incident that happened. A pre-primary child had just taken admission and she just didn't like the school. And every single day, she used to cry her heart out. On the third or the fourth day, the principal just went and stood by her quietly. The only unspoken language was of love, compassion, and acceptance. And you can't believe the child stopped crying and she even started coming to school. This is the power of silent acceptance for children. They just perceive it beautifully. Thus, every day, if we can remind ourselves and also passionately believe that every child has innate wisdom and potential, comfortably change happens. One more thing that I read caught my attention. There was a rich businessman. He had bought a plot in the outskirts of Visakhapatnam. And he had built, there was a 100-year-old mango tree also there. And he had built his house around the mango tree. Didn't want to spoil it. Then he, 1 or 2 years, then he wanted to renovate the house. So his friends and colleagues and all told him, why don't you call a Vastu expert? And he doesn't believe in Vastu, but then he said, okay, friends are telling, I'll go and get one. So he went to the city and he got a very famous Vastu expert. And while they were driving down, he was allowing all the other cars to overtake him. So the Vastu expert asked him, what is this? You are allowing everyone to overtake you. He said, maybe, they have some very urgent work to do. It's okay, let them go. And they went further ahead. And when they neared the outskirts of the city, he saw one child cutting across the road, looking very happy. And he said, he slowed down the car. Again, the Vastu expert asked him, why? What happened now? He said, this child is looking so happy and running and cutting across the road. That means another one is following. So when, and as he said, another child also cut across the road and followed the first one. Then they came near the house, but he stopped it at a distance. And he said, if you don't mind, let's walk the last lap. So the Vastu expert said, now what happened? He said that there is the mango tree, many children, they will be plucking mangoes and they will be playing there. And if they hear the car coming, they may get startled and they may fall off. That's why. So they went into the house and the Vastu expert looked at him in stunned silence. He said, listen, you don't need any Vastu. He said, what happened? He's telling, you have in your mind and heart the well-being of so many people. So nothing is going to happen to you. And wherever you are, in that space, the ambience is going to be so good that nothing else is needed. So this is the power that we have, each one of us. If we do this me time exercise and calm ourselves, and in that calm frame of mind, we may actually listen. Sometimes we are in such a tizzy, the child comes to tell you something, you don't even have the time to listen to them properly. Here I would like to add Robert Frost's quote. He said that I am not a teacher, I am an awakener. So all of us are here to awaken their potential, which is already there. Now, the third facet of a teacher is to be a friend, a mentor, a counselor to them. So here what we can do is we can take them out of the school, take them for a picnic, maybe a field trip, maybe a village visit, if possible. Sometimes only it is possible, sometimes it's very difficult. So we can do it in the school only. There is something called as cooperative learning technique. So in this, what we can do is we divide the whole class into small groups. Okay, the group can be 6 children, 8 children, whatever, depending on the number of students. And each group, the students will have varied talents. Somebody will be good in math, somebody will be good in poetry, English, somebody will be an artist, somebody will be a musician. We have to be careful when we make the group and give them a common task. And when the common task, they have to pull in all their talents, and the whole group has to do the presentation. Here, what the teacher can do is, while they are doing all this, you can quietly go around, maybe even sit with them in the desk and just start talking to them. So this way you are taking, as though you are some great thing in the classroom, you are taking yourself out of that frame and showing them you are also human and you are ready. And in my experience, I have realized sometimes, we think we'll counsel them. I'll just discuss with them, this happened, the way they'll give me solutions, it will appear as though they are our counselor. They have a lot of potential. So this is called as cooperative learning technique. Now, the fourth facet of a teacher is to give experiential learning. Very important. And NEP 2020 has opened floodgates of art integrated ideas. Children have come out with such beautiful ideas, because when you do art integrated teaching, even complex concepts become joyful and experiential. So what they will do is, they will, some concept of maths or something you take, then you teach them some art form, and when these two come together, that happy feeling makes them remember the concepts very well, because any form of art comes from our inner, it is an expression of our inner core consciousness. And when you make them do art integrated learning, also they do one thing, they become good in creative analysis, problem solving, all these aspects also becomes easy for them, and they really just love it. Here I would like to just share, I do maths with children. So I took this. This is the geometrical shapes, circle and point and line and everything. And this is called as mandala art. So when you make, you need not be a great artist. You can know, if you know little bit of, find out about the history of mandala art, and you make them do, amazingly, they will be able to connect circle properties with art, and also they will remember. Now, this is called as Aipan. This is of Uttarakhand. And the unique thing is the combination. It will always be red and white. So you are going to teach them about Uttarakhand, depending on whatever paired state and all. And this is called as Pattachitra. And this is from Orissa. So, and here again, circle, then line, all these geometrical figures. And so what you are doing is, you are also teaching them the rich cultural heritage of our country. So art integration is a wonderful way of giving them experiential learning, which is what children want. Here I would like to quote Benjamin Franklin. He said, "Tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, and involve me and I learn." So it is very important that we involve children in the process of learning and be sensitive to them. I'm sure a lot of love we will get, and they feel very loved from by the teachers also. All of you are wonderful pro teachers. So I'm sure all these 4 points of subject expertise, then we will call it happy me time. Me time, happy me time means we'll remember also. Then got this learning in a cooperative way, and also art integration. All these 4 points which I was discussing, I'm sure you all can reflect, and any of these points will help you. It will be really wonderful. Finally, to be a true teacher, what's very important is to connect with the Guru within us and remain in equilibrium and spread knowledge with love. I'm sure it will be a wonderful experience for the teacher as well as the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sita ma'am. Wonderful. I liked all the spiritual aspects that you brought into your session, and how to maintain that equilibrium. That is very important in today's busy life. We are so involved with our work that we don't care about others. So that awakening, the me time that you introduced, the equilibrium, the rapport building, so many good points. And what beautiful art that you showed, how the students who have done the mandala art and so on. So, and I believe that the new national education policy is going to bring in more of such, where we create equilibrium, where we are one with nature. So I'm glad,
Yes.
Sita ma'am, you brought out all those points and those beautiful quotes from Benjamin Franklin and the others whom you had quoted. It was a wonderful session, and I'm really grateful that you could spare your time for us for this and sharing your decades of experience as a maths teacher. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Next, welcome, ma'am. And now I will invite Molly Abraham, ma'am, who is a PGT Social Science in Radhika Educare, Jamnagar. Molly Abraham, ma'am.
Good evening, sir and panel members. Also, thank you, viewers, for being with us. Here, I would like to begin to what Sita ma'am had shared already. The teacher, in previously it was called as Guru, who removes the darkness. But at the same time, teachers were having a particular, like if we are tagging or we are telling that she or he is a teacher or a guru, there was a particular mindset, a patriarchy that the teacher should be strict and was not at all so much approachable. But it has had a paradigm shift in the recent years where we are one with the student. They are comfortable with us. And when we talk about being a pro teacher or an awesome mentor, but we are also looking into that every teacher has their basic qualification. First, it defines teacher with basic qualification, training, which even NEP is looking out and will be soon coming out with it, and is aware of how a lesson plan is made, Bloom's taxonomy, our Bible, micro and macro teaching, and most importantly, class management, which comes with training and experience, of course. These are the common criteria. Now, I would like to quote by Gandhiji, be the change you want to see in the world. I know it's very difficult, but trying will make a difference, a slight difference. It is must. As every individual is different, every student is unique and has different learning styles. We are all aware of the different learning styles. And we also should keep in mind that we are being attached to or working with hearts and not with machines. So, teaching should be impactful and not just focusing on completion of curriculum. I also understand being a teacher, our first priority is completing syllabus. No doubt in it. Abide by the deadlines, but simultaneously building a bond and imparting cognitive skills, which previously my panel members had already shared. It is of utter importance. A teacher should be well planned and should always have a plan B before we enter into the class, because we don't know what is waiting for us. And that is what we are, as a teacher, you all might have seen a picture where a teacher is having a cap which is having multiple tasks. A teacher is a multitasker, and that has been very well proved during the pandemic situation. You all will be agreeing to it that we have been learning so many different things, and so many, like digitally we have grown. We have been teaching. We have not stopped our teaching part. We have tried our best. Adaptability is another virtue a teacher should possess. We all might have gone through the so many instances and experience which makes us learn, and we remember that, okay, next time I should not look into this matter or this subject in this particular sense, and we try to redefine. We should always be sharpening our saw. We cannot just sit that, yes, I am very much aware of the topic or the subject, but we should always be updating ourselves. Secondly, and this is what now we have learned, that is,
Molly ma'am, please unmute yourself. I think you muted yourself here.
sorry, sir.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem. Yes.
And we should be proud, pat on our back, that art integration we have taught the children by learning in so many different forms, asking our peers, and coming out with beautiful results. We just need to ensure, or even just need to cater to the needs of the students, and you will get awesome results, and in different aspects. Secondly, what is a teacher's reward? Is it a salary? Is it an income? No. The best salary or the reward is when the child or a student remembers you, tries to connect with you. At last, I would like to conclude that a pro teacher should read, participate, join a group, observe peers, and share, because learning is a continuous process. Yes, always, whenever I'm sharing one of my personal experience, that when I enter a class and when I am starting a particular chapter, the children know that yes, ma'am is going to start a chapter, because I am creating a drama, I am creating a scene, I am creating a real life picture into them. And they get a clue that ma'am is going to start this chapter. Of course, social science. And it has been always been an interesting class. Children have started accepting that yes, social science can be interesting. It is not boring. Only we need to change their perspective. Thank you all.
Thank you, Molly ma'am, for sharing this. And especially the fact, because everybody thinks that social science is boring. So you said that it is all matter of perspectives. And these are all they keep on passing from one batch to the other. Maths is supposed to be tough. And then social science is supposed to be boring. So these are all mindsets which we have to change. I'm glad you brought this up. And with our education system, which is going to be more interactive, more of experiential learning, I think all the subjects, there will be no hard separation between the subjects. We need to integrate all the subjects to make it so interesting. So thank you, Molly ma'am, for giving your time. And now I will invite Uma ma'am, who is PGT Science, PGT Science in Sri Bala Vidyalaya, Kovai. And I'm also glad to inform you that she was nominated for the Shatakshi Women's Award in January 2021. So, Uma ma'am, it's over to you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful intro. And I request all the panel members to bear with me if any technical issue is going to happen. And now all of us are interested in discussing about the pro teachers, and we are all very clear in what we are knowing about. The main two things, first of all, I want to talk is that I am very much inspired about the Helen Keller, who is the founder of a blind educators. And from her, and she is my great inspiration, that when a person like that is able to create a lot of difference in the world of thing, why can't I create it? So I came into this education field, and I'm here for 10 years. I used to follow with the different criterias of the children, that if a child is having any difference, I used to say, Hare Babre, I also had this difficulty, but what has happened is that I hated chemistry, but my father pushed me into chemistry. Now I became a teacher. See how the God's miracle is. The children used to laugh at me, and they say, teacher, is it true? Yes, I say it is a true thing which has happened in my life, because I wanted to be like this. I am a SAP consultant like that. Then they decide, okay, science is not difficult. I have made too many people to come out in the NEET and everything only by the inspirations which I made to them. And these children promoted me to be the awarder. Only the children were very inspired on me, even though my attitude, everything to be where I go too down to their ages. If it is a child of 8, I move to a 8 years old. If it is a 10 years, I can move to anywhere. This is a flexibility a teacher should be having. No rigidity is that. The flexibility makes them to share their knowledge and their opinions, and what is their view about the topic, particular topic on it. And I, as a teacher, we are divided into different sectors, that early childhood educators, primary educators, TGT, PGT, and the professors. But everybody, what is we are doing is that we are a pedagogical learners, and we are responsible for the same, where we are going to bring the young generations to the different topicals of our world. And the deliberate prospects is that when as a maths teachers, okay, everybody will know the skill, what is has to be isolated by the teacher, what will be happening, and the development and the act finally performance, how the child is going to perform without fear, how he is going to involve that particular topic in his lifelong. And that we say as a trial practice, later it is used in a life. Because maths and science and social science, this is all a clubbed thing, where the languages comes into the way of communication level, where they are able to communicate. All teachers are, all of us are very capable of sensing the visual elements and block logicals. We think what, how to do, and when to do, and where to do, and execute ourselves. And the teaching is a thing that we are very capable of molding them in a way what they want or we want. But the parents is the bridge. The bridges makes the children to be okay, go in this way, go in this way. I can quote you an example that now a PUBG game or TikTok, everything was not only done by the children's, parents also involved in that. When something is blocked, the children gets an hesitated, and they go and what is happening, why the parents is doing. But when as a teacher, pro teacher, we should be very capable of giving only the right things. I know all my children are playing the video games. What I used to do is that, okay, I go and search in a Google for some AI games or mechanical intelligent games where the children can improve themselves, and I give them the elevator is the best game what I have done till now. And we give them so the link, they say, miss, no, this is happening here, this related to this, mathematics is related, okay, social is related, the language is related, because now coding is booming like something. Everyone is talking about a coding thing. As a pro teacher, I am very well known that I am learning coding, so that anything I can club into my education part. The English language, the apostrophes, punctuations, everything is clubbed. And the mathematics, when the multiplication or a formula goes wrong, the answer is going to be wrong. And the concentration level and the debugging, everything is connected in a coding. I myself say the parents or the teachers that let us, we are in a school, we joined as a tuition tutors, and to become a student to a coding person and AI. We ourselves are learning, so we are in an upgraded level. We, whatever a teacher or a student is going to come with, we will be coming up in a better way. It is not only for us, it is for the whole society what we are going to deal. And I want to quote you a formula, maybe it is from my side, that KL 4AC, that is AC is a pair and C two eyes I have, and I'm going to go out. This is the formula of a modern teachers, and as a pro teachers, I wanted are we are going to follow in a future years. That is, KL stands for know when to plug and unplug the students and what time to plug them and unplug them. And L stands for to make them as a leaders. The leadership qualities to be boosted from them either in the group or in an individual way. And the 4AC stands for the ability to manage their online reputation, ability to engage them, ability to empower them, and adaptability. This is the main course every teacher is following here, and every one of us has learned different different methods to come out. And 4C is that the confidence, communication, and the commitment what we have with us, and the continuous learners. We are a very good continuous learners as a teacher. Every day we learn, even we are ready to be a LKG student in any topic we are going to be. And I go with 2I, that is I is for imaginative and the initiative things what we are going to do. And OUT, I'm going to be out at any part of the life of a student. So what I'm going to do for a student when I'm going to be out, I'm going to organize him in a well good manner, that he is going to be a organized person in the society, where he is able to be a leader, or he is going to be a co-worker, or is going to engage the members in him. And U stands for understanding the technology. Each and every technology is going to be changing, and the improvements are going to come in. And the last one is T. And being a team leader is not a versa thing. Being a team leader is a good. Any management, it will like only a team leaders, not a person who is going to show off, or not a person who is going to be at a, no, I can't go do this. But a team leader or an average scorer, he is a very good person. That a pro teacher is a person who identifies him, isolates him, and develops a skill for him. When something is going to be going wrong, the person is a very capable to identify, child, you are going in this way, please can you modify. Don't shout at the child, or don't give him a hustle harass, but give him a very good knowledge with an experience. I would like to show you one picture which I myself are collaborated with Max and History. This will be an art integration part which we did for a 4th standard kid. This thing is for about the cultures, and everything which we have done is with the squares, circles, rectangles, and triangles. The first one here is with the lotus picture. Sorry if I'm not okay. This is with the Odisha art with the circles that we have done, the squares and the Ajanta art, and the Lotus temple. Everything we are clubbed with the art of integration. The communication was done with the Hindi by our students, and the very one thing was that the children learned about the ancient culture and where the how they build it, what were the modern tips they did. They did a recording for their about their all their works, and they used we said that only two plane diagrams should be used, no 3D diagrams should be used. This way we integrated the language, Hindi, and mathematics, and the social studies of our culture. And the another thing is that every teacher is a very capable of doing in their own way, but as a teacher, sometimes something, if it goes wrong, we are going to go with the other teachers to improve ourselves, to learn many things. I'm very frank, I'm not very good in computers, so I combine with the computer teachers. What is going on here, please say me, I can also involve in it. And we involve as a science teacher, what I used to do, I ask the children to bring all the wastes we develop a human system with the waste from their house. The children are very capable of showing that, teacher, see my sponge is with a heart. My sponge is, when I press, use a pressure pump, my heart is going down and coming up. And he will be very good in saying that there is a 7 meter of hose pipe, the large intestine, we pour color liquids into that. Like this, from 7th standard, the children who are traveling with me, they are very good in human systems, as I'm very interested in that, and the plant respiration things. The interest in me, they have been cultivated into them, and it has become now the state award winners and international winners are coming out from our schools through this. And I thank you all my panel members for giving me this chance to give my own ideas and my own experiences to you. And I thank Matthew sir. I am a big follower of Matthew sir from during the pandemic time, and I used to trouble Matthew sir also because of the difficulties which I had with my own. And he is a very good pro teacher for the teachers. He was insisting himself to come out with the great ideas where I learned lot of things, and Sita ma'am for their own ideas and origami and storytellings. I'm using that in my classes to come out in a very good way and understanding technologies. And there was another ma'am who was teaching us a Microsoft photo. Now I'm using that to implement in that. So I am a very good learner and a student for every time to be a pro teacher. And the main thing will be that the tricky implementations which I'm going to use, the students will be very clear in how the things is going to be collaborated in their lifetime. Even eating in a spoon is a tactics or a imaginative skill a child can use. The holding it in a right hand or a left hand is not a problem. How he is going to, the time taken and everything can be taught, and this will be a collaboration of them to make. And I follow the formula KL4AC and 2I out. This is about my pro teachers formula which we involve and we follow in our side. Thank you, Matthew sir, and thank you for the panel members and the viewers.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us the formula. Whenever there is a formula, no, children are very happy. So, because whenever we try to teach them, and if they're not understanding anything, the best is to give them a formula. Formula always works. So thank you for giving this formula. Yes.
Thank you so much
for your insights, and thank you for all the appreciation that you have given to everyone. And thank you for your precious time. So I will invite now Meenu ma'am, who is a Hindi teacher and also a resource person, resource Hindi teacher preparing a lot of material. She has her own YouTube channel also. And she is from APS Kaluchak, Jammu. So Meenu ma'am, we would like to hear you.
First of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Matthew sir, all the listeners and all the panel members. And thank you, Matthew sir, for selecting me as a panel member and giving me this opportunity. And आज जो हम विषय पर बात कर रहे हैं, जो हमने आज अपना विषय चुना है चर्चा के लिए, हमारा जो विषय है वो है कि कैसे एक शिक्षक जो है वो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक बन सकता है. हाउ टू बी अ प्रोएक्टिव टीचर. प्रोएक्टिव टीचर, क्योंकि बहुत से हमारे जो लिसनर्स हैं शायद हिंदी में इस जो प्रोएक्टिव जो शब्द है उसका मतलब न जानते हो, तो एक बार मैं हिंदी में जरूर बोलना चाहूंगी कि जो प्रोएक्टिव टीचर है, आप हिंदी में कह सकते हैं सक्रिय शिक्षक. तो आज जिस विषय पर हम चर्चा कर रहे हैं वो है कि किस प्रकार एक जो शिक्षक है वो शिक्षक की श्रेणी से निकलकर एक सक्रिय शिक्षक की श्रेणी में जा सकता है. तो देखिए, इससे पहले कि मैं इस चर्चा को आगे बढ़ाऊं, मैं आप सबसे अपने मन की एक जो बात है वो साझा करना चाहती हूं, और मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि हमारे सभी पैनल मेंबर्स और जो हमारे लिसनर्स हैं वो सब भी मुझसे जरूर सहमत होंगे कि हमारे जीवन में हम बहुत से शिक्षकों से मिलते हैं. बहुत से शिक्षक जो हैं हमें बहुत ज्ञान देते हैं, और जो हम बहुत उनके आभारी होते हैं. जो छात्र होते हैं वो अपने शिक्षकों के लिए बहुत आभार रखते हैं, क्योंकि शिक्षकों ने छात्रों को बहुत अधिक ज्ञान दिया होता है. लेकिन जैसे जैसे हमारे जीवन के पड़ाव बढ़ते जाते हैं, हम उन शिक्षकों को या फिर यूं कहें कि बहुत कम शिक्षक होते हैं जिन्हें हम याद रख पाते हैं। अक्सर ऐसा होता है कि आधे से ज्यादा शिक्षक जो होते हैं, हम उनमें से कुछ का तो नाम तक भूल जाते हैं। और यही जो फर्क है, जो छात्र है वो किसी शिक्षक को अपने जीवन के अंतिम पड़ाव तक भी भूल नहीं पाता है, और कोई शिक्षक ऐसा भी रहा होता है शायद जिसका छात्र को नाम तक याद नहीं होता। यही जो अंतर है छात्रों के जीवन में, इसी अंतर को हम एक शिक्षक और एक सक्रिय शिक्षक के मध्य का अंतर कह सकते हैं। आज जिस विषय पर हम बात कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम सभी शिक्षक हैं और ये जो हमारी चर्चा है ये शिक्षकों के लिए है कि कैसे हम एक शिक्षक की श्रेणी से निकलकर एक सक्रिय शिक्षक बन सकते हैं। तो मैं जरूर आपसे कहना चाहूंगी कि देखिए, हम 21वीं सदी का जो छात्र वर्ग है, हम जो अध्यापक हैं, हम 21वीं सदी के छात्र वर्ग के साथ काम कर रहे हैं। हम जो शिक्षा प्रदान कर रहे हैं वो 21वीं सदी का छात्र वर्ग है, और 21वीं सदी का जो छात्र वर्ग है ये स्मार्ट शिक्षा के दौर में है। हम ऐसा नहीं कह सकते कि चलते आ रहे जो शिक्षा है या चलते आ रहे तरीकों से हम 21वीं सदी के छात्र वर्ग को शिक्षा या शिक्षित कर सकते हैं या शिक्षा प्रदान कर सकते हैं। ये कहना बिल्कुल भी सही नहीं होगा, क्योंकि जो आज का दौर है वो स्मार्ट शिक्षा का दौर है, और इस दौर में बहुत आवश्यक हो जाता है कि जो शिक्षक हैं वो स्मार्ट शिक्षा के दौर की तरह ही स्मार्ट अध्यापक बनकर रहें। क्योंकि देखिए, जो हमारे 21वीं सदी के छात्र हैं ये आविष्कारों और तकनीकों के दौर के छात्र हैं। ये तकनीक का प्रयोग कर जो है काम करने वाले छात्र हैं। आजकल के जो छात्र हैं हम उन्हें पुराने चले आ रहे तरीकों से शिक्षा नहीं दे सकते हैं। तो ये बहुत जरूरी होता है कि हम सिर्फ एक शिक्षक ना होकर एक स्मार्ट शिक्षक हो, या फिर हम इस तरह से कह सकते हैं कि हम सिर्फ एक शिक्षक की श्रेणी में ना रुके, हम कह सकते हैं कि सक्रिय शिक्षक बने। अब बात आती है कि सक्रिय शिक्षक होता क्या है। देखिए, सक्रिय जो शब्द है अपने आप में ही सक्रिय शब्द का अर्थ है निरंतर चलने वाला। तो निरंतर जो चलता रहे, जो निरंतर कार्यशील रहता है, जो कभी रुकता नहीं है, जो कभी थकता नहीं है, ये अर्थ होता है हमारे सक्रिय शब्द का। तो इसी से आप सोच सकते हैं कि जो हमारा सक्रिय शिक्षक है वो भी ऐसा ही होगा। जो हमारे सक्रिय शिक्षक होते हैं वो निरंतर चलते रहते हैं, निरंतर कार्यशील रहते हैं, और बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है हमारे सक्रिय शिक्षकों का गुण होता है एक, कि वो अपने छात्रों को भी सक्रिय रहने की प्रेरणा देते हैं। जो हमारे सक्रिय शिक्षक होते हैं वो अपने छात्रों को हमेशा यही प्रेरणा देते हैं कि आप निरंतर कार्यशील रहिए, थकना नहीं है, रुकना नहीं है, पीछे मुड़कर नहीं देखना है, घबराना नहीं है। तो चलिए, आज हम जो है वो बात करेंगे कि ऐसे कौन से गुण हैं जो एक शिक्षक को एक सक्रिय शिक्षक बनाता है, या फिर ऐसे कौन से विशेष गुण हैं जो यदि एक शिक्षक अपने भीतर ढाल ले तो वो एक शिक्षक की श्रेणी से निकलकर एक सक्रिय शिक्षक की श्रेणी में आ सकता है। तो देखिए, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे यही कहूंगी कि देखिए, शिक्षा आप कहेंगे अगर कि विषय से संबंधी शिक्षा, तो वो तो 21वीं सदी का छात्र इंटरनेट से भी ले सकता है, क्योंकि आज शायद कुछ ऐसी विषय वस्तुएं होंगी जो अध्यापक को भी शायद कुछ चीजें होंगी जो अध्यापक भी शायद याद ना रख पाए, लेकिन इंटरनेट के एक क्लिक से ही जो छात्र है वो सारी जानकारी हासिल कर सकता है। लेकिन देखिए, बात यहाँ आती है कि शिक्षा के साथ छात्रों में नैतिक मूल्यों का विकास करना बहुत आवश्यक है, क्योंकि आज जो 21वीं सदी का छात्र है वो विषय वस्तु में तो बहुत अधिक रुचि रखता है, बहुत अच्छे से वो सीखता है और उसे बहुत ज्ञान भी होता है, क्योंकि आजकल के अभिभावक जो हैं, आजकल के जो छात्र हैं, वो अपनी शिक्षा को लेकर बहुत अधिक जो है वो जागरूक हैं। लेकिन एक जो अध्यापक है, जो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक है, उसका ये कार्य बनता है, उसका आप कह सकते हैं कि ये मोटिव होना चाहिए कि वो अपने जो छात्र हैं, विषय वस्तु के साथ उनमें नैतिक मूल्यों का विकास करें, क्योंकि आजकल के छात्रों में नैतिक मूल्य देखने को नहीं मिलते। मैं ये नहीं कहूंगी कि हमारे छात्रों में नैतिक मूल्य है ही नहीं, पर जी हाँ, बहुत से ऐसे हमारी युवा पीढ़ी है जो हमारे नैतिक मूल्य हैं उनको भूलती जा रही है। तो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक जो है वो विषय वस्तु का ज्ञान तो देगा ही देगा, लेकिन अधिक महत्वपूर्ण है कि वो बच्चों में नैतिक मूल्य जो हैं उन्हें सम्मिलित करे, छात्रों को नैतिक मूल्यों का ज्ञान दे। दूसरी जो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है वो मैं ये कहूंगी कि एक अध्यापक जो है उसे अपने विषय का समग्र ज्ञान होना चाहिए। समग्र का मतलब है कि उसे कंप्लीट नॉलेज होनी चाहिए अपने जो उसका विषय है। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए, अक्सर हम कुछ जो हमारे अध्यापक हैं, कुछ अध्यापकों से हम सुनते हैं कि हम कक्षा दूसरी पढ़ाते हैं या हम कक्षा तीसरी पढ़ाते हैं, तो हमें सिर्फ कक्षा तीसरी तक का ही जो है वो ज्ञान है और हम सिर्फ कक्षा तीसरी के ही बच्चों को पढ़ाना चाहते हैं। लेकिन देखिए, जो सक्रिय शिक्षक है, यही फर्क है एक सामान्य शिक्षक में और एक सक्रिय शिक्षक में। जो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक होता है वो अपने विषय का समग्र ज्ञान रखता है, वो अपने विषय का ऐसा ज्ञान रखता है कि यदि 10वीं का छात्र भी उस शिक्षक के पास आए और वो उस शिक्षक के विषय से संबंधित कोई परेशानी लेकर आए या कोई संशय लेकर आए, तो जो शिक्षक है वो इतना निपुण होना चाहिए कि वो शिक्षक जो है वो 10वीं के छात्र को भी उसकी परेशानियों का हल दे सके, उसके जो संशय हैं उन्हें दूर कर सके। तो आप जो हमारा सक्रिय शिक्षक है उसके लिए उसका एक गुण रहता है कि वह अपना जो विषय है उसका समग्र ज्ञान रखता है। उसके बाद देखिए, एक शिक्षक का कार्य होता है कि जो ज्ञान उसके पास है, देखिए शिक्षक होता कौन है? शिक्षक वह व्यक्ति है जिसके पास भरपूर ज्ञान है और वो अपना ज्ञान दूसरों को बांटता है। ये जरूरी नहीं है कि विद्यालय में पढ़ाने वाला जो व्यक्ति है वही शिक्षक होता है, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है। शिक्षक कोई भी हो सकता है, जो भी व्यक्ति अपना ज्ञान दूसरों को बांट रहा है वही व्यक्ति जो है वो शिक्षक कहलाता है। लेकिन क्योंकि यहाँ हम विद्यालय में बच्चों के साथ जोड़े जाने की बात कर रहे हैं, तो मैं ये जरूर कहूंगी कि जो आपका ज्ञान है, जो आपके पास आपके विषय का ज्ञान है, बहुत आवश्यक है कि क्या आप अपना वे ज्ञान, जो आपके पास विषय का ज्ञान है, क्या आप अपना ज्ञान अपने छात्रों तक निपुणता से पहुंचा भी पा रहे हैं या नहीं। कई बार आपने देखा होगा कुछ छात्र आपस में बात करते हैं कि अच्छा, ज्यादातर ये जो छात्रों को परेशानी मैथ्स को लेकर आती है, गणित को लेकर आती है। मैंने अक्सर छात्रों को बात करते सुना है कि मुझे उन सर का गणित समझ में नहीं आता है, वो मुझे उन सर से नहीं समझ में आता है, दूसरे सर बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं। अक्सर ऐसी बातें जो हैं वो विद्यार्थियों से आपको सुनने को मिलती हैं। लेकिन देखिए, फर्क किस चीज का है? वो अध्यापक जिससे छात्र समझ पा रहा है और एक वो अध्यापक जिनसे छात्र नहीं समझ पा रहा है। यहाँ ज्ञान का जो है अंतर नहीं है, क्योंकि दोनों अध्यापक अगर अध्यापक के पद पर कार्य कर रहे हैं, किसी विद्यालय ने अगर उन्हें अध्यापक का पद दिया है, तो यकीनन उनका जो विषय का ज्ञान है वो बहुत अधिक जो है वो अच्छा होगा, समग्र होगा। लेकिन अंतर आ जाता है कि क्या आप छात्रों तक पहुंच पाने में सक्षम हैं? क्या आप आप कह सकते हैं, क्या आप ऐसी शिक्षा प्रणाली का प्रयोग कर पा रहे हैं जिसमें छात्र जो हैं वो आपका ज्ञान अर्जन कर पा रहे हैं? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि जो चीजें आप छात्रों को सिखा रहे हैं, आप छात्रों तक उन चीजों को लेकर पहुंच ही नहीं पा रहे। आप ऐसा तो नहीं कर रहे कि सिर्फ आप अपना लेक्चर देकर जा रहे हैं, आधी कक्षा के छात्रों ने आपसे सीखा और आधी कक्षा जो है वो संशय में ही रह गई। यही फर्क है एक शिक्षक में, एक सामान्य शिक्षक में और एक सक्रिय शिक्षक में। जो सक्रिय शिक्षक होगा वे सभी छात्रों की व्यक्तिगत जरूरतों को ध्यान में रखकर अपनी पाठ योजना बनाता है। देखिए, जो हमारी पाठ योजना होती है वे बहुत अधिक महत्वपूर्ण होती है। यदि आपकी पाठ योजना आपने बहुत अच्छे ढंग से बनाई है तो आप जो है वो बहुत अधिक स्तर तक जो छात्रों तक पहुंच पाएंगे, छात्रों का आप कह सकते हैं छात्रों के लेवल तक पहुंच पाएंगे। अब देखिए, पाठ योजना जब हम बनाते हैं, जिन्हें आप इंग्लिश में लेसन प्लानिंग कहते हैं, हर विद्यालय में लेसन प्लानिंग बहुत जो है वो जरूरी है, इम्पोर्टेंट है। कोई भी जो विद्यालय है, मुझे नहीं लगता है कि वो पाठ योजना के बिना जो शिक्षक हैं उन्हें पढ़ाना जो है वो शिक्षा देना जो है वो अलाउड होगा, ऐसा कहीं भी नहीं होगा। तो देखिए, होता क्या है कि जो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक है वे ये जानता है कि पाठ योजना जो है उसका महत्व क्या है। अब देखिए, हम एक अच्छी पाठ योजना किस प्रकार बनाएं। एक सक्रिय शिक्षक जो है वो पाठ योजना बनाते समय बहुत से चीजों का ध्यान रखता है। सबसे पहले पाठ योजना में इस चीज का ध्यान रखता है कि जो उसकी कक्षा है वो उसे समावेशी कक्षा के तौर पर देखता है। आप समावेशी कक्षाओं को इंक्लूसिव क्लासरूम्स कह सकते हैं। आपने सुना होगा कि आजकल इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन जो है बहुत अधिक प्रचलन में है, बहुत अधिक इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन पे बात की जा रही है। हिंदी में इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन को हम समावेशी जो है शिक्षा प्रणाली कहते हैं। तो देखिए, जो आपकी पाठ योजना है वो समावेशी शिक्षा प्रणाली पर आधारित होनी चाहिए, जहां आप आपकी कक्षा में बैठे हुए जितने भी छात्र हैं उनकी व्यक्तिगत जरूरतों का ध्यान रखेंगे और हर छात्र का जो सीखने का स्तर है, देखिए बहुत से छात्र होते हैं जो सुनकर सीखते हैं, बहुत से छात्र होते हैं जो देखकर सीखते हैं, बहुत से छात्र होते हैं जो स्वयं कुछ करने से सीखते हैं, और बहुत से छात्र ऐसे भी होते हैं जो देखकर, सुनकर, स्वयं कर कर, स्वयं लिख कर हर चीज करने से सीखते हैं। तो एक जो सक्रिय शिक्षक होता है वो अपनी पाठ योजना में हर तरह की शिक्षण विधि का प्रयोग करता है। वह अपनी पाठ योजना में बच्चों के लिए ऑडियो क्लिप्स रखता है, जो कि बच्चों का श्रवण कौशल जो है उस पर आधारित होता है, श्रवण कौशल के विकास में मदद करता है। जो बच्चे सुनकर सीख सकते हैं वो छात्र उन ऑडियो क्लिप से सीखते हैं। जो छात्र देखकर सीखते हैं उनके लिए उस पाठ योजना में चलचित्र जो हैं, जो वीडियोस हैं, उनका संकलन किया गया होता है। जो छात्र बोलकर सीखते हैं उनके लिए कुछ ऐसी गतिविधियां जो है वो रखी गई होती हैं जिसमें कि छात्रों को बोलने का मौका मिले। अब ये शिक्षक की अपनी कुशलता है कि वे अपने छात्रों की रुचि, अपने छात्रों की परेशानियों को किस प्रकार या किस स्तर तक पहचानने में सक्षम है। क्योंकि एक जो सक्रिय शिक्षक है, केवल और केवल वही अपने छात्र की रुचि, अपने छात्र के सीखने का स्तर, अपने छात्र की परेशानियां, अपने छात्र की रुचियों को पहचान सकता है। देखिए, ये फर्क होता है एक सामान्य शिक्षक में। हालांकि देखिए, मैं किसी भी शिक्षक को सामान्य शब्द तो नहीं कहूंगी, लेकिन क्योंकि आज हमारी चर्चा का विषय ही है कि कैसे एक शिक्षक को सामान्य से हम सक्रिय की श्रेणी में लाते हैं, कैसे एक शिक्षक जो है जो सामान्य से सक्रिय शिक्षक बन जाता है। इसीलिए मैं ये जो बात है यहाँ कह रही हूँ कि जो एक सक्रिय शिक्षक होता है, केवल सक्रिय शिक्षक ही इतना निपुण होता है कि वह अपने छात्रों का स्तर जो है वो समझ सकता है। देखिए, उसके बाद मैं आपसे एक चीज जरूर और कहना चाहूंगी कि जो पाठ योजना है, आपने आप जब एक जो सक्रिय शिक्षक है जब वह पाठ योजना बनाता है तो पाठ योजना में इवैल्यूएशन, आंकलन जो है वो सतत और व्यापक रूप से लगातार होता है। ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे हमेशा से चलती आ रही शिक्षा प्रणाली है कि हमने एक पाठ पढ़ाया, बच्चों ने उस पाठ को रट लिया और रटंत प्रणाली का प्रयोग किया और अंत में जो पाठ के अंत में प्रश्न उत्तर दिए थे या रिक्त स्थान दिए थे, छात्रों ने वो किए और जो शिक्षक है उसने पाठ जो है पूरा करवा दिया। जी नहीं, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, क्योंकि ये नीतियां जो है मैं कहूंगी एक सामान्य शिक्षक जो है वही जो है इन पर चल सकता है। एक सक्रिय शिक्षक जो है वो अपनी कक्षा में ऐसा कभी भी नहीं जो है वो होने देता है, क्योंकि एक जो सक्रिय शिक्षक होता है वह इस चीज का महत्व जानता है कि जो छात्र हैं उनका आंकलन जो है, जो उनका इवैल्यूएशन है, वो पाठ के शुरू करने से पहले ही शुरू कर दिया जाता है। देखिए, जब हम कक्षा में, एक सक्रिय शिक्षक जब कक्षा में पढ़ाता है, कोई भी विषय शुरू करने से पहले, कोई भी पाठ शुरू करने से पहले हमेशा आप छात्रों के पूर्व ज्ञान की जांच करते हैं। आप देखिए, पूर्व ज्ञान की जांच करने का आप कह सकते हैं कि उद्देश्य क्या है, रीजन क्या है, क्यों हम छात्रों से पूर्व ज्ञान के प्रश्न पूछते हैं। मान लीजिए अगर मुझे छात्रों को कोई भी विषय पढ़ाना है, कोई भी, मान लीजिए अगर मुझे छात्रों को शब्द पढ़ाने हैं, अगर मैं हिंदी की अध्यापिका हूं, आज मैं छात्रों को शब्द पढ़ा रही हूं, तो पहले मैं छात्रों से जरूर स्वरों और व्यंजनों के बारे में पूछूंगी। इसका उद्देश्य ये है कि मैं छात्रों का सतत आंकलन कर रही हूँ, सतत और व्यापक आंकलन कर रही हूँ। मैं देख रही हूँ क्या जिस चीज को लेकर मैं अपने छात्रों को आगे लेकर जा रही हूँ, जिस स्तर की शिक्षा, जिस स्तर का विषय मैं अपने छात्रों को आज पढ़ाने जा रही हूँ, तो क्या मेरे छात्र उस स्तर पर आने के लिए तैयार भी हैं? क्या ऐसा तो नहीं कि अभी मेरे छात्रों को उस स्तर पर आने के लिए एक रिवीजन चाहिए, एक पुनरावृत्ति चाहिए? इस आंकलन से, इस इवैल्यूएशन से मुझे पता चलेगा, एक सक्रिय शिक्षक को ये पता चलेगा कि क्या उसे पिछली जो चीजें हैं, पिछला जो विषय वस्तु है, जो आधार है शब्दों का, क्या उसकी पुनरावृत्ति की जाए। और यकीन मानिए, ये जो आप पूर्व ज्ञान की जांच करते हैं, जो आप लेसन प्लानिंग के मध्य जो ये सतत आंकलन आप करते रहते हैं, ये छात्रों के सीखने की प्रक्रिया को बहुत अधिक जो है वो बढ़ा देता है। और यकीन मानिए, जो अध्यापक है वो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से, आप कह सकते हैं बहुत ही आप कह सकते हैं कि प्रभावशाली तरीके से अपना जो विषय है वो पढ़ा पाएगा, क्योंकि उसे उसके जो छात्र है उनका स्तर पता चल चुका होगा, क्योंकि उसने अपने लेसन प्लानिंग में सतत आंकलन जो है प्रणाली, उसका प्रयोग किया होता है। तो ये सक्रिय शिक्षक जो है उसका एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण गुण रहता है। उसके बाद मैं आपसे एक चीज और कहना चाहूंगी कि देखिए, केवल शिक्षक बनकर आप छात्र का जो प्यार है या छात्र से जो सम्मान एक अध्यापक को मिलना चाहिए, वो आप कभी नहीं जीत सकते। क्योंकि आपने हमेशा देखा होगा, हमेशा कुछ बच्चे ऐसे बात करते हैं, कई बच्चों को आपने सुना होगा ये बात करते हुए, क्योंकि देखिए मैं यहाँ सिर्फ एक अध्यापक की कुर्सी पर बैठकर बात नहीं करूंगी। एक अध्यापक, एक सक्रिय अध्यापक वही होता है जो अपने छात्र के मन की बात जानता है, जो जानता है कि उसका छात्र उसके लिए क्या बात करता है, या छात्र जो है वो अपने अध्यापक में क्या देखना चाहता है, जो छात्र है वो अध्यापक को किस स्तर पर देखना चाहता है। इसलिए मैं छात्र की तरफ से भी जरूर बात करना चाहूंगी। आपने देखा होगा जो छात्र होते हैं, छात्र अक्सर आपस में बात करते हैं कि ये मैम बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है, मुझे ये मैम बिल्कुल अच्छी नहीं लगती है। और देखिए, जो अध्यापक, जैसा पहले भी एक को पैनलिस्ट ने कहा कि जो अध्यापक हैं, जो अध्यापक छात्रों को पसंद नहीं होते, वो अध्यापक जो है छात्रों से सम्मान कभी नहीं ले पाते। और यकीन मानिए, जब तक छात्र आपका सम्मान नहीं करेगा, छात्र आपसे ज्ञान कभी अर्जन नहीं करेगा, कभी भी आप अपना ज्ञान छात्र तक नहीं पहुंचा पाएंगे। बहुत आवश्यक है, यदि आप छात्र के मन तक, छात्र के मस्तिष्क तक पहुंचना चाहते हैं, ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हो जाता है कि आप अपने छात्र के साथ व्यक्तिगत संबंधों का भी जो है निर्माण करेंगे। ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक गैप बना लिया कि नो, आई एम अ टीचर, मैं अध्यापक हूं और मैं अध्यापक के स्तर से नीचे नहीं आऊंगा। ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। एक सक्रिय अध्यापक जो है वो बहुत निपुण होता है अपने व्यावसायिक संबंध और अपने व्यक्तिगत संबंधों के बीच संतुलन बनाने में। देखिए, एक इक्विलिब्रियम बनाना बहुत आवश्यक होता है। आपका पर्सनल टच जो है आपके बच्चों के साथ और जो आपका प्रोफेशनल टच है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप बच्चे के साथ इतना पर्सनल हो गए हैं कि आपको जो बच्चे हैं वो जो अध्यापक वाला जो आपका गैप है, छात्र ने उसे क्रॉस कर दिया। जिस वक्त
मीनू मैम मैं आपको सॉरी इंटरप्ट करूंगा, थोड़ी टाइम की पाबंदी हो रही है, आप थोड़ा सा वाइंड अप करेंगे तो बेहतर होगा।
ओके सर,
थैंक यू
ओके सर, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू सो मच। तो हमें क्या करना है कि एक इक्विलिब्रियम बनाकर रखना है अपने व्यक्तिगत और अपने व्यावसायिक संबंधों में जो हमारे छात्र के साथ हैं। मैं एक चीज और कहूंगी, कि जो सक्रिय शिक्षक, मैं एक चीज और कहूंगी कि जो ये सक्रिय शिक्षक होते हैं, ये जो सहायक सामग्री होती है, देखिए, एक सक्रिय शिक्षक को बहुत बड़ी बड़ी सामग्री नहीं चाहिए होती है। एक सक्रिय शिक्षक का जो है ये बहुत, आप कह सकते हैं, वो निपुण होता है अपने आसपास की जो सामग्री है, अब छोटी छोटी सामग्री का प्रयोग करके वो अपने विषय जो वस्तु है उसको और अधिक रुचिपूर्ण बना सकता है। एक सक्रिय जो शिक्षक है वो जानता है कि वो केवल लेक्चर मेथड जो है उसका प्रयोग नहीं कर सकता है। एक जो वो अपने छात्रों के लिए कला समेकित शिक्षा का प्रयोग करता है, आर्ट इंटीग्रेशन का प्रयोग करता है, वो ऐसी गतिविधियों का प्रयोग करता है, एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन का प्रयोग करता है, प्रयोगात्मक गतिविधियों का प्रयोग करता है, जो कि उसका जो विषय है उसे और रुचिपूर्ण बनाते हैं और जो छात्र है वो बहुत खुशी खुशी से और बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से उस विषय को समझ पाते हैं। उसके बाद मैं जरूर कहना चाहूंगी कि जो
मीनू मैम थोड़ा एक्सीड हो गया आपका, तो मैं आपसे माफी चाहूंगा क्योंकि बहुत टाइम हो गया, तो इसीलिए आपका आई एम श्योर यू हैव लॉट्स ऑफ मोर पॉइंट्स टू शेयर, लेकिन हम दोबारा एक सेशन लेंगे, नहीं तो बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा। ऑलरेडी 1.5 घंटे का हो गया है हमारा प्रोग्राम, तो सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू।
नो प्रॉब्लम।
थैंक यू सो मच। आई नो दैट
सर, मैं वाइंड अप करते समय एक चीज जरूर कहना चाहूंगी कि देखिए, कोई भी शिक्षक जो है हम उसे सामान्य नहीं कहेंगे, सभी शिक्षक जो हैं उनमें सक्रिय शिक्षक बनने के गुण हैं। देर है तो सिर्फ इस बात की कि हम कितना जल्दी जो है इस बात को समझते हैं कि जो शिक्षक वर्ग है वो समाज का सबसे विश्वसनीय वर्ग है और हमारे हाथों में ये जिम्मेदारी है कि हमें युवा पीढ़ी का भविष्य जो है उज्जवल बनाना है और हमें जो है इस और कदम अधिक शीघ्र उठाना होगा। हमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपनी सोच को और अपनी शिक्षा प्रणाली को थोड़ा सा बदलना होगा। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू मैम। मुझे पता है आपको और भी बहुत कुछ बोलना था, लेकिन जब हम पैनल डिस्कशन में होते हैं तो फिर एक लिमिटेशन होता है, इसकी वजह से मैं आपको रोक रहा हूँ, सॉरी फॉर दैट। सो बट अदरवाइज आपको बहुत मौके मिलेंगे एंड मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ आप फिर से ऐसे सेशन हमारे लिए लेते रहेंगे। और हर भाषा की एक मिठास होती है। बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आपने हिंदी में कम्युनिकेट किया, बहुत मैसेजेस आए कि हिंदी। सो थैंक यू सो मच for joining us. And so now I will invite Richa ma'am. She's from Don Bosco School, TGT English, and ma'am, over to you, ma'am. So
thank you, Matthew sir, and a very good evening to all the co-panelists and the viewers. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that everything goes well and there are no technological glitches now. But you know, today's experience has taught me something very important. That to be a pro teacher, you need to have the calmness and you need to learn not to panic when there are adverse situations. The moment you panic, the moment you lose your calm, the confidence of your students goes down the drain. And Whatever you had planned, whatever you had thought of, just goes for a toss. So when I had this technological glitch, I told myself that all is well, I will get a chance to speak, and I am back here. So continuing from the point where I had started, I was talking about that the first and the foremost quality of a pro teacher is that she is an expert in her subject. He or she knows her subject in and out. She goes to the class well planned and well versed with the content she wants to teach. As a language teacher, I realized that how important it is that I use very appropriate vocabulary, punctuation, and oratory skills because my students imitate it. Now, when I say that you should be an expert in your subject, I certainly do not mean that you need to know all. It is absolutely fine if you do not know something. There have been times when I have told my students in the class that I don't know this, I'm sorry, but I will find out and I will let you know. And trust me, the students respect you when you exhibit the scope of learning, improving, and developing every day. Now you have the expertise, you have the knowledge, but when you present that knowledge in the class, it is very important that you add a personal touch to it. Personal touch would mean sharing your personal experiences with your students. I remember once we were having a discussion, and my students were talking about what they want to be in their life, what is their aim in life. And I shared with them that how, when I was in class 2, I had decided to become a teacher. They were awestruck. And the whole period went by just in the discussion of my childhood. So students love to hear their teachers as a child. They love to hear what were the experiences of their teacher as a child. And they find these experiences very relatable. And this also provides the child an opportunity to open up and share his personal experiences. And thus, you have a classroom with optimum interaction. One myth about the teaching profession is, oh, it's a very easy job. You go to the school, you teach the students, and you're done. But one aspect that is usually not emphasized upon is that this is one profession which needs passion. I'm sure all of you will agree with me when I say that we are in this profession not for money, but we had the passion, we identified it, and we decided to follow it. And your passion as an educator is infectious. The more passionate you are about teaching, the more passionate your students will be to learn. So, teachers, always remember, never let that passion within you die away. In today's scenario, can we teachers do without technology? The answer is a big no. In this one past year of pandemic situation, we all have mastered the skill of conducting online classes, using PowerPoint presentations, using YouTube videos, and conducting online quizzes. And we have realized that how these technology, these available resources make our classes engaging and interesting. And it is a wonderful way of keeping pace with the modern day students who are so tech savvy. Students love it when their teacher is there on Instagram, she is there on Facebook, she chats with them, and she knows the technology well. She is well versed with technology. Knowing your subject, being passionate, using technology, having the passion to teach, using the personal touch, these all are like the layers of a cake. And the icing of that cake is your classroom management strategies. A pro teacher masters the skill of managing her class very well. She is the one who is able to hold on to the attention of her students. And for this, a teacher needs to perform a dual role. She needs to be an amiable companion and also a strict disciplinarian. An amiable companion who is approachable, to whom the students come and talk their heart out. But at the same time, she demands discipline in her class. I would just like to share a few strategies which I use in my classroom for managing my class well, and they usually work. At the beginning of the session, I share with my students the classroom culture. I tell them the do's and the don'ts of the classroom, and I also put them up on the notice board as a constant reminder. And I always ensure that the most mischievous ones are given the responsibility to manage the class. Trust me, then there is no mischief and the class is managed very well. So a class managed well speaks volume about the efficiency of a teacher. And remember, none of us are perfect. We all are working together to reach that mission of perfection. But every morning when you wake up, pat your back and tell yourself that you are doing an amazing job. Thank you. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Matthew sir, to the AIEF, and to the panelists, to the viewers, to the listeners for giving us this opportunity to share our views and our ideas. Thank you, Matthew sir. You have actually made us educators public figures. We can't thank you enough for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. I mean, this is always a pleasure to share our resources. That is very important that the pandemic has taught us that we should always share our resources, because that was the time when we didn't know anything. Actually, the kids were much better. And today we can proudly say that we know at least something equal to them, if not more. So, you know, many of them, I was very happy when some students were not able to upload something, and then they used to behave as they were technology experts, and then they used to come to us for help. So, you know, the tables have turned. I think when we go back to classes, we can go with our heads held high, because otherwise they always used to have the upper hand, saying that they were the technological gurus. So I think the pandemic has taught us a lot of things, and I'm sure this learning continues. And I hope more and more educators are going to come forward in sharing their resources, sharing what they have learned. That is very important. I have felt that whatever we learn, we should also try to spread it across, because, you know, it's like flowing water. If we try to put water in a container stagnant, it starts, you know, the stagnant water starts smelling. So the water has to flow. And when the water flows, then the fragrance comes. So I hope with this, as we spread our education, our resources, our tips and techniques, I'm sure this, the whole motive of spreading goodwill will keep on increasing in the coming months, in the coming years. So thank you once again to all the panelists who could join us. And I'm sure we are going to have more and more webinars in the future. So thank you and good night, all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good night.